All right, Shalom. I want to begin by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kwadash. All right, double honor, sorry, beloved elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom, so from elect. Shalom to all the Akim pushing this truth with sincerity. It's your brother Tazawam from the GMS Columbus, Ohio branch. Coming back again with another quick video. And pretty much through the spirit, just wanted to tap into a topic that was presented on the line today through the spirit. And we had a scoffer come up. You know, he was debating about the names, etc. All right. And, he had referenced, a time where, the names of the Lord weren't as renowned in the earth. All right. And ultimately, pretty much said that Abel's name, all right, or I said Abel's name, but the Lord's, that Abel, Cain and Abel in a sense didn't have the names of the Lord. All right, but had faith in him. All right, which ultimately they did have faith, or not they, but Abel. All right, in a sense. But all in all, the names of the Lord were present at that time. All right, because when you deal with it in quick answer, did Cain and Abel, or did Abel know the name of the Lord? And the answer is yes. Okay. Now again, I just want to tap into it real quick. All right, because I really couldn't deal on the line, concerning this topic, because, I was trying to stay at a certain speed with them, you know what I'm saying? And, try not to veer off the point or the topic at hand. All right. But, all in all, just wanted to make a video on it. All right. So when you go into it, ultimately we have to, again, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how we gain understanding. All right. But, did Cain and Abel know the names of the Lord? And like I said, the simple answer is yes. All right. So now when you deal with Genesis 1, all right, like it says in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Or as it says in the A&P, in the beginning, God, in parentheses, Elohim, created by forming from nothing the heavens and the earth. All right. Which ultimately is who? The angels. All right. You go into that word God, which is Allah in the Hebrew and the Paleo. All right. It goes into gods, rulers, judges, divine ones, etc., which is all plural. Okay. So, all right. The angels, etc., created what we see today. Now, when was the name of the Lord presented? All right. In Genesis, the 2nd chapter. All right. Because this is ultimately when the Heavenly Father started to deal with Adam directly. Okay. And plucked him from amidst, the people, who also was on the planet. Because it was more than just Adam and Eve on the planet. All right. At this time. So as it says, Genesis 2 and 4 says, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created. And the day that Yahweh God made the earth and the heavens, which ultimately he's the architect of creation, so he therefore gets the credit. All right, but he uses vessels to do his bidding. And in that case, the angels to do the bidding of creating, what he wanted creating, laying down the blueprint, etc. All right. But again, it says Lord in all caps, which is what? The Heavenly Father's name. All right. Which we say Yahweh. Okay. In the Paleo Hebrew. All right. Got your Yah, Ha, Wah. All right. With a W-A and a H-A at the end. Okay. Yahweh. All right. So again, the name of the Lord was present, and ultimately we understand that who wrote these things? Moses. All right, dealing with the Torah. All right. Okay, he was given, as it is written in 2 Edges 14. All right, he was, given different revelations, etc. as he was on the Mount Sinai. All right, for 40 days and 40 nights. So again, the name of the Lord was present during the time of Cain and Abel. All right. And like I said, it was presented first here in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, again, as the Heavenly Father started to deal with Adam. All right. So real quick, let me see. I'm gonna start at go down to jump 7. It says, "And Yahweh God formed man out of the dust of the ground, and breathed into him his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." Right? Like I said, dealing with Adam, the Heavenly Father breathed into him the breath of life, which means what? He gave him understanding. Okay? He separated or consecrated him from amidst of the rest of the people on the planet. All right? Out of his kin. You see? And it says, "And Yahweh God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed." Okay? So now, again, like I said, the name of the Lord was present. All right? Now, when you deal with it further, go to Genesis, the 4th chapter, all right, of Cain and Abel's story. It says, "And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh." You see? So he brought forth an offering unto Yahweh. All right, if you offering something to a god or a deity, you have to what? Know their name. Okay, so Abel did know the name of the Lord. Cain did know the name of the Lord. All right, because of what? They sacrificed to him. Again, getting traditions and things that, they had caught wind of or was taught, by their parents. Okay? It says, "And Abel brought," and Abel he also brought of the firstling of his flock and the fat thereof, and Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? Now if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him." You see? So, again, the name was present. All right, now the name started to be spread and more renowned. All right, as you read further into the story, the Adamites, growing in, populace, so on and so forth, which, ultimately were called who? The sons of God. Okay? And when you read further and deal with Enos, was it Enos? Or, let me see, what's it, Enoch? I thought it was Enos. Salakia. 1 second. Then man began okay. It's in the wrong chapter. This is Genesis 4 into 26 or let me start at 25. It says, "Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, called his name Seth. For the Most High said, She have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh." See? So again, the Lord's name was in the earth at this time. All right? The name of Yahweh. All right? And again, at this point, it's when it, started to be more renowned as the sons of God, and, the seed of Adam, all right, was multiplying. Okay? But about to be heading out for camp, so, we just dealt with pulled the precept we pulled and dealt with it like that. And, through the spirits, wanted to, do a clean up and put the nail in the coffin concerning the topic at hand. So, Lord's will that was edifying to whoever may receive it. Give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.